Hello everyone, on this episode of Kindred Spirits, racing game Spinouts. Developed by Eutechnics and released by Electronic Arts for the PlayStation in the year 2000, 007 Racing is a James Bond-inspired racing combat game. The world is in trouble again, and only 007 has the skills needed to save the day. An evil mastermind plans to kill millions with a deadly virus, and only through several missions will James Bond discover a way to succeed. Gameplay consists of several car-based missions, each with a different set of weapons and goals. Some are combat-based using machine guns, missiles, and other high-tech gadgetry to defeat helicopters, tanks, and goons, while other missions are strictly racing against the clock, relying on fast reflexes and good memory. Control of the car is rather difficult and heavy, making any actual racing a chore. Weapon selection is goofy and tedious, causing a lot of wasted ammo. With enough practice and determination, each mission can be accomplished in a depressingly short amount of time. Graphics are a catastrophe, combining poor animation with an eye-watering color palette. Animations are clunky and glitchy. The game engine is borrowed from the Need for Speed franchise, another child of Electronic Arts, and is better suited for an all-out wide-open racing, not close combat.
007. Our satellite reconnaissance has established a location where it is safe to jettison your vehicle and the bomb. Jack Wade and the CIA have marked a route to your destination and have placed frequency distortion transmitters at specific intervals, each of which will confuse the bomb's detonation device for a brief period, gaining you valuable seconds. Good luck, 007.
Sounds are a real mix of good and bad. Clips are clean and easy enough to understand, and the voiceovers are a real bonus, but quickly turn sour as the same clips are repeated ad nauseum.
Careful, hotshot. I don't want to be digging your grave.
007 Racing suffers from the same curse that many franchise-to-game titles do: lack of gameplay. This game in particular underscores the problem. Most of the budget went into cutscenes, voiceovers, and mission logistics, and very little went into making a fun play experience. We give 007 Racing a 5 out of 10. Developed by the Japanese company Bandai Limited and released for the Super Nintendo in 1996, Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers is a 3D racing game. Years of live-action Japanese-themed combat has primed your mind for a new challenge: racing. Bandai hears your thoughts and releases a game no one thought probable. Gameplay consists of the standard choose-your-driver-and-go racing format, as well as bumper chase mode and blaster master mode. All of the Zeo Generation Rangers are playable, as well as Cog and King Mondo. Also included is a secret player that can only be accessed by winning first place in all 5 tracks in standard racing mode. Combat in racing mode is fairly basic, with avoiding obstacles and other players while using your attacks when possible. Control of the vehicles is loose and slow, so you will spend most of your time running off the track. Attacks are hard to execute. The other 2 game modes are more satisfying and enjoyable. Graphics are based on the Super Nintendo Mode 7 format, which can be found in many other gaming titles. The tracks are smooth and fairly detailed, but have the odd perspective stretch of most Mode 7 games. Sprites are low detail and are a bit glitchy at times. The color palette is mid-grade good. Sounds are on the better side for a Super Nintendo release. Effects are clean and varied. Soundtracks are upbeat, detailed, and really add to the Power Ranger vibe. Power Rangers Zeo Battle Race is another run-of-the-mill IP grab that places more focus on brand recognition than real gameplay. Combat is weak, tracks are short, and the details are lacking. We give this title a 6 out of 10. Developed by Empire Software under license from Hanna-Barbera for the Super Nintendo system in 1994, Turbo Toons is a foot racing title exclusive to the European market. Yogi Bear and all of his woodland friends are bored of doing nothing all day, so they decide to race just for fun. Other members of the Hanna-Barbera property group hear the race and want to join in. Gameplay consists of the most basic of racing rules: be first around the track. There are gems to collect and use to buy character upgrades, yet they seem to serve no other real purpose. Avoiding obstacles and other Toon jump attacks also helps. Controls are heavy and awkward. The real challenge of the game is deciding on why you are racing in the first place. It is much more fun to let the CPU race all of the Toons while you watch the shenanigans, much like a real cartoon show. If you own the Super Nintendo multi-tap, you can have up to 4 of your friends at the same time question your sanity. Graphics are mindlessly basic, giving just enough detail to easily identify the Toons from the Hanna-Barbera collection. The game engine looks to have been hammered out in an afternoon, and most of the time was spent creating the sprite animations. Sounds are barely there, with a small handful of clips for actions and what seems like a single music track for racing. Turbo Toons is yet another low-rent cash grab attempting to use easy-to-recognize characters while delivering almost zero gameplay. There is so little to comment on, good or bad, that this review was a challenge to use more than 100 words. Since the game engine has no technical faults, we give Turbo Toons a reluctant 5 out of 10. Developed by Electronic Arts and released for the PlayStation in the year 2000, NASCAR Rumble is an arcade-style racing combat simulator. The main goal is much like NASCAR, to be first across the line. In this game, however, being first is a complicated challenge. First thing to note is the tracks are nothing like NASCAR. There are no ovals or only left turns. These tracks are much more Need for Speed style, with complicated layouts and hidden routes. Placed at intervals on the tracks are random power-ups. Some are offensive, others are defensive. Several modes of gameplay are provided, including single race, championship, showdown, and time trial. Many of the well-known NASCAR drivers and their cars are included in the roster, giving fans a real treat. Gameplay is a blast, plain and simple. Controlling the car is straightforward with gas and brakes, and the car's handling is balanced enough to be intuitive. Steering around corners at top speed takes some getting used to, but with practice can almost feel like drifting. Combat through power-ups is easy and clean, with a balance that few racing games have achieved, such as tornadoes to blast your opponents off the track, and shields that can prevent just such a problem when used right. Learning the hidden routes is worth the effort, as one can save time or avoid others in many cases, as well as the fun of taking a dirt road at top speed. Each game mode is balanced and distinctive, giving much more replay value to the title. Graphics are on the high side for a PlayStation. Cars are large and detailed, giving you the feeling of being there. Tracks are also large and detailed with distinctive markings. The background is a complete wraparound image that follows the camera angle in a way that makes mountains and buildings at a distance seem convincing. It is clear that a lot of effort was put into every aspect of the graphics, from smooth and colorful menus to immersive environments, despite the famous grainy limitations of the PS1. Sounds are top quality for a PlayStation title. Effects are clean, well sampled, and add real immersion to the game. Lots of little detail effects are sprinkled all around. Menu navigation sounds are smooth. All sound clips are well balanced, with nothing harsh, too loud, or too soft. NASCAR Rumble is a hidden gem of a game because when it was released, no one knew what to make of it. NASCAR fans maybe were put off that the tracks were nothing like the old NASCAR ovals, and arcade racing game enthusiasts maybe thought the game was only for fans of NASCAR. Also, coming out at the end of the PlayStation 1's life and a few months before the launch of the PlayStation 2 overshadowed its release, which is a real shame. A lot of effort went into this title, and playing the game confirms it. It will surely put a smile on your face. we give NASCAR Rumble a 9 out of 10. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel, and thanks for watching. Developed by the Japanese company Bandai Limited and released for the Super Nintendo in 1996, Bandai, let me do that again. Read number 2.